Listen, it's good to have John Bowles come and sing for us this morning. Good morning.
My pleasure.
Good to see you.
Thank you, John.
Now, I hasten to add that song was John's own composition, and what a lovely story goes with it. Tell us the story.
Yeah, well, I was over in Hong Kong doing Cats, and I've always toyed with lyrics, and there was no one over there that actually wrote music that I knew, and I thought, well, who am I going to get to write music? And I thought, well, do it yourself. Yeah. So I used to wake up in the middle of the night with a little tape recorder and sing into the tape recorder. That's how I wrote it. And
eventually it happened, and then you had to get someone to translate it into music
yeah,
for
absolutely,
you.
Yeah.
Fantastic story. It's a lovely little song too.
Thank
Congratulations.
You.
Okay, we're talking about Hello Dolly.
Yeah.
You've been with the show how long now?
Since January. We're touring around. We're going to Adelaide after Sydney and over to Perth.
The show's going tremendously well here in Sydney. You're still enjoying it?
I am. And what's amazing here in Sydney is that we're seeing a lot of young people come to the show. And it's amazing. I was thinking, Hello Dolly is so well known, and yet there's so little known about it because we haven't seen it in 30 years.
That's right.
So people think they know it, and yet they actually don't know much about it at all.
That's right. We haven't seen it in 30 years. In fact, what we saw was the movie, and that was quite different, of course.
And I don't think they realise how funny it is, and it's very nice to have, you know, people coming up to you after the show saying, it was the best time. I mean, I don't know what they expected, but...
Well, I was struck, as I've mentioned to many people, and to Jackie Love, who was here the week before last, that the show exudes a lot of energy. It doesn't rely on high-tech tricks on the stage to sell itself. It's all about you guys, the talent, and, of course, the costumes, and Jill Perryman.
Those shows are honest shows, because if they're going well tonight, it's because we're all pulling together and it happens.
Yes.
And you're quite right, it doesn't rely on, you know, special effects, and so you get an immediate response from the audience. Yeah.
Have you found, having been with the show now so long, when you talk about the cast pulling together, have you found that there are some nights when things just don't quite click?
Oh, goodness, Lord knows why. And I don't suppose, in many regards, it's actually noticeable by the audience.
It wouldn't be.
You know, but you can tell. I mean, at the moment, Jill has the flu, I have the flu, and Josephine has the flu. And I'm a bit clearer this morning thanks to my cold tablets. But there were a couple of days ago that we were doing a scene together, and it sounded like three foghorns together on stage.
But that's only to you guys, because you're all professionals. To the people in the audience, they wouldn't have...
Probably wouldn't have known.
Wouldn't have noticed.
But you have a giggle backstage, and there are some funny things that happen. No, it's a very happy company, and it's a very, very up show, so, yeah.
Now, this is interesting that you're taking the show after the tour of Australia to Thailand, of all places. Are they just discovering Western theatre?
There is a billionaire over there who has built a resort and a theatre, and rather impressive theatre too, and is buying shows. And John Frost, who is our producer, has sold quite a few of his shows to him. And they're doing very well, and it's a bit of a paid holiday, to be frank.
It's
fantastic.
Everyone
who's gone over there's had a lovely time.
Yeah, will you be going to Bangkok, or is it another part of Thailand?
No, it's Chiang Mai.
In Chiang Mai, oh,
I don't have any idea where that is, do you?
Chiang Mai, yeah, well, Chiang Mai's kind of northwest for memory, and very famous for its opium poppies.
Right, oh.
So if you have a bad show...
Get out the window.
Get out the backyard. That's very interesting. John, what about your ambitions? Okay, obviously it's terrific, you're strutting the stage, and we've seen you so many times on TV. You're a regular on the midday show.
Right. I think, having done Cats and gone directly into this, I like music theatre. I really like music theatre because it brings acting and dancing and singing and the whole gamut together. And there's really nothing like it because, you know, there's so many different kinds of shows you can be in. And I also like to take my writing further. I mean, it's early days. I've only been penning about half a dozen songs and sussing out who to write with and...
Singing into the tape recorder in the middle of the night, which is a great way to go.
Or in the shower. It's always in the shower or when you're asleep that you get the...
Well, that's what I say to people. When people invite me to join in a sing-along, I go, look, hey, the only time I can sing is when I'm naked and there's water pouring on me, because the shower's the only place I dare go with my voice. I wish I could sing, though. I think it's a wonderful skill.
I think most people can. It's just a matter of putting in the time, I suppose, or having the... you know, everyone has a predisposition to all sorts of things.
Sure.
But, yeah, I've taught some people to sing with.
John, you started at a very young age, and I know that most people, of course, would remember you from the Young Talent Time days. I mean, that's when we first became aware of you. How did you realise early in your life that you had an aptitude for singing?
Probably when, you know, the old curtain rails that used to have the strings with the weights on the end?
Yes.
And they were always a funny little thing. I used to grab that and sing into it like it was a microphone. Or pull the cord out of the television. And that was like from the age of 4 or 5, I suppose. and I used to cut up Kellogg's cornflakes packets and make them into little theatres with puppets and, you know.
So it just happened. You just showed an obvious flair.
And Mum sent my brother and I along for singing lessons because he had a speech impediment, and she thought that might help him, and it just led from there. I entered as a contestant on Young Talent Time. They asked me to be in the team, and it all happened.
And from thereafter, now look at you, starring in Hello Dolly.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there's
loving
never been a time when I actually turned around and thought, you know, I've been studying accounting now. I think I'd like to be a performer. How do I do that?
Yes,
it just
right.
sort of rolled on. I'm lucky, I suppose.
Yeah, well, for it to have been a part of your life from such an early age, you won't know any different.
No, absolutely. I wouldn't know what to do. And, you know, when you're feeling most vulnerable or in between jobs, or lucky I've never been sort of in that position for very long, you think, you know...
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I suppose
now?
for a guy like you, you might think about Broadway or the West End or something. I guess that's a natural progression for someone.
Yes, I'm actually going to New York in the break. We've got a short break for 3 weeks, and I'm going to New York and London just to see shows.
Good on you.
Just to see shows. The consulate yesterday turned back my visa because I think they think I want to go over there and work.
Oh, I see.
You be honest and say, I'm just going to see shows, you know, because when they come here, it's very handy to have seen them and to know what's involved.
Yes, of course.
But yes, so I'm just going to see shows, that's all.
Good on you, John. He's just going to see shows, get it? Always good to see you. You take good care of yourself.
My pleasure.
Good luck
Thank
with
you.
Dolly, and have a good time in Thailand, huh?
We will.
And stay away from those opium poppies. If you want to catch Hello Dolly, folks, and John and Jackie Love and Jill Perryman and all of the cast, on in Sydney until mid-June, and then over to Adelaide from June 28 to July 20, and then you'll have to catch the gang in either Perth or Thailand. All right.